The LG 34UC87C is a beautiful Quad HD display that is not only ultra-wide with a 21:9 aspect ratio, but it's also curved. Hello guys, how are you? David DeFranco here from daviddefranco.com with finally my review of this beautiful 34-inch curved IPS LED monitor from LG. This monitor overall is just stunning. So let's jump right into my review, starting out with the pros. So let's get the obvious part out of the way. This is a 21:9 curved IPS display with an awesome resolution of 3440 by 1440. So in other words, this thing is putting out 34 inches of awesome image quality with a 5 millisecond response time. Okay, so let's talk I/O. You have one port for display ports and two ports for HDMI, which is definitely very convenient if you're looking to connect multiple devices to this single monitor. But of course, that is not it. We also have dual USB 3.0 ports as well as one USB up 3.0 ports, which in other words is great for a USB 3.0 hub. And finally, we have a headphones out for audio, but I gotta say that might not really be necessary because the onboard speakers on this LG monitor are actually quite impressive and very loud, which is something you don't really hear often from monitor speakers, but I was just pleasantly surprised at how well they performed. Now, what's really interesting about this LG monitor is, for the first time ever in my experience, and keep in mind I've used a wide variety of monitors, this display actually uses a single nub. Yes, let's just call it a nub. A single nub for your menu controls. And this is actually pretty intuitive. It was easy to navigate on the menu. It was very simple to change my monitor's options, its settings, and all that good stuff. So props to LG for keeping it simple because I usually despise navigating an on-screen menu on a monitor. But LG actually did something different, and well, simply put, I appreciate it. Alright, so let's talk about the detachable base because, well, you can do just that if you want to wall mount this monitor. That's definitely a huge feature for some users. Me personally, I'm perfectly content with just putting it on a flat surface, in other words, my desk. But if you do want to wall mount this monitor, you can do just that. So speaking in terms of productivity, now we're all used to 16:9 monitors and even 16:10, such as my Apple Cinema display, which is right behind me in my living room. So jumping into the world of 21:9, that's definitely very different, especially if you're not used to working with such a wide aspect ratio. But I gotta say, if you're someone like me who tries to be productive on a daily basis, this monitor will definitely, without a doubt in my mind, show you just a different way of working, if you want to call it that. Picture dual monitors in a single monitor setup. That's exactly what you're getting. Again, you're getting an awesome resolution of 3440 by 1440, and that's 34 inches in size. So whether you're gaming or working in Photoshop, simply web browsing, answering email, managing social media, doing word processing, photo editing, video editing, this monitor is going to blow your mind in terms of productivity. It's just extremely impressive at how many applications I can fit on this single display. That aspect alone just really impressed me. And speaking of that, let's talk about 21:9 content briefly, because 21:9 content, it's kind of a hit and miss because it's one of those things that you really can't find all that often because it's sort of a newer format. But with that said, if you do come across some 21:9 content, whether it's videos or gaming or even your simple iTunes visualizer, you will be impressed. Mark my words, you will love what you see because it's definitely something you have to witness for yourself. It's incredibly immersive. And finally, the curve. Yes, this is a curved display, which I'm not usually the biggest fan of, but I gotta be honest, this monitor's curve, it's extremely subtle. The curve is there, you can obviously see it, but it's not to the point where it's distracting, if that makes sense. So believe me, the curve on this monitor definitely surprised me. Okay, but as awesome as this monitor is, let's talk about the cons. And honestly, I only really have one major con, and that is the lack of 21:9 content as of this video. Now, obviously, this is not LG's fault because, as I mentioned, 21:9, it's easily a hit and miss kind of thing. Sometimes you have content on YouTube that supports 21:9, and sometimes you have content on YouTube that supports 16:9, which is pretty much the video standard nowadays. Alright, so I will say this, the lack of 21:9 content is definitely disappointing, but I did do some research, and there are plenty of examples to demonstrate how truly awesome and immersive 21:9 content can be, especially if you're a gamer. Seriously, if you guys are PC gamers, you are going to love gaming in this 21:9 aspect ratio. Ranging from games like World of Warcraft to League of Legends, Battlefield 4, Watch Dogs, Crysis 3, and so much more. That's what's great about 21:9 content. It's only going to get better from here. And of course, don't forget how much I emphasized this before. Productivity. 21:9 plays a huge role in making you more productive, and just the amount of apps and windows that you can fit on a single display, it really does impress me very much. So I'm just gonna say this, if 21:9 is new to you, simply have an open mind and try it out. Alright, so my final verdict of the LG 34UC87C curved monitor. Is it worth the $999 price tag as of this video? Yes and no. Yes, if you're looking for something new, something unique, and you're simply looking to explore the markets of 21:9 content and productivity. But I will say this, LG also offers a 4K monitor for only about $200 more. So I guess my final verdict is, if you're looking for a 21:9 curved monitor, definitely go for this. You will likely not be disappointed at all. But if you're willing to spend just a couple $100 more and 21:9 content is not important to you, and you would much rather have an awesome resolution of 4K, then well, perhaps you're better off going that route. And guys, honestly, that's a good problem to have because LG happens to make monitors for both of those scenarios, of which I will link right below for my personal recommendations. So either way you go, you will be happy. But in terms of this curved monitor, I gotta say I am enjoying it very much, and huge thanks to LG for making this video possible. I really appreciate it. Okay, so of course I still have more to say about this monitor because there's so much to experience. So with that said, if you do have any more questions about this particular model, please post them right below in the comments, and I will do my best to get back to you as soon as possible. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you so much for your continued support, and I will see you in my next video. Peace.